Virgo, you recently turned down an invitation. You declined an offer. You decided to let something go. Perhaps you put down some boundaries. You had to trust your instincts. You had to rely totally on your intuition. There's a sense that there were certain details omitted that you didn't have necessarily facts to back up your choice. It was just purely something you felt compelled to do. You felt like something couldn't be trusted, or it was leading you in a direction that wasn't really going to serve your interest, wasn't going to be beneficial for you, and may have even felt like a bit of a hindering influence or something that in some way, shape, or form could hold you back. There's this message coming through, confirmation that that was the right choice to make. In fact, it's that choice that you made that is about to totally transform your circumstances. You may not have realized how much a particular influence, a situation, or even your involvement with a certain person was really holding you back from experiencing the kind of progress that you wanted to see in your life. And there is a real sense that a new journey is about to open up for you. And this journey is possible because of what you declined, what you let go. And there's some kind of confirmation coming through to really validate the choice you made, a choice that you made by trusting yourself. So let's see what this is coming on through. I am working with my gold foil deck and my glow-in-the-dark deck combined, representing shadow aspects as well as what's been alchemized, what's been transformed. So we're going to look at all of it, and we're just getting a little message of what is in store for you leading up to the blue moon in Sagittarius that closes out this month. Although certainly you can feel this energy weaving through your life beyond that time frame, but it is an introduction of the energies in play, and something in the shadow just fell away. A couple things here, so let's see what that is, just to open up the energy. Yeah, see, I see that there was something that you declined. It could have even been somebody was reaching out to you and you decided not to answer that call. Maybe in the past you would have been really quick to receive this person's communication, and you decided to maybe cut off communication, or you were going to head in a certain direction and then you made a clear-cut decision this was not the right person to work with. I do see something about putting down boundaries in relation to somebody's ability to be able to access you, be able to take up your time, your energy. You felt like something was really veering off course, I heard. And this required a lot of decisiveness on your part. You may have had to be quite steely about this. There could be the perception that you were a little cold too in your cutoff game, but you were just trusting that something didn't feel right. Something didn't feel right. And you didn't want to be the one to ignore your gut and then regret it. So interesting energies in play here. I mean, your energy coming up very strong. I feel like you made this decision from a very logical place, even though it was guided intuitively. It was informed by your own sense of knowing. And there might have been clues, just practical things coming through that something was heading down a destructive track, that something was becoming a little too heated. And I think you pulled out right at the critical time, but there could be this perception that you went a little cold, that you were a little severe here. Let's get some details about that. What's about the basis of the matter? I mean, I don't think it was cold at all. I think you actually acted in perfect timing here. I think this choice, whatever this influence is that you cut off, this is what transforms your situation. And you're going to get proof of this. With Temperance on the scene, you're going to start to move into a lot more expansion now. Where you were feeling bogged down, held back, or like things just weren't lining up for you, you're going to find that you have stepping stones for your future. There's a lot of synchronicity coming in, a lot of signposts that are guiding your way forward from this point. So pay attention, because I do feel like it's that time when divine timing is syncing up. But I think the piece that a lot of people miss when it comes to divine timing and synchronicity is that in order to be able to catch the clues, you have to be paying attention, which means you can't be distracted. So there could have been a real distracting element in play in your life that kept diverting your attention from where it needs to be focused. And I think because you did cut this off, it's opening up transformation for you. And we see 2 cups. There's like this beautiful reciprocal flow. So it could be that at one point you were giving a lot of energy to this, but it wasn't pouring anything back into you. And you said, I'm done with that. This is taking from me more than it's giving. This is not a beneficial arrangement, situation. Intuitively, it feels off. And I may feel invested emotionally on one level, or there could be a lot of emotional history here or previous emotional investment. But I feel like you had to look at things practically and maybe get out of a situation while you could. I don't know, there's a sense of really needing to make a clear delineation point here. So let me get some clarity about this. We do have a Sagittarian energy on the board. There could be a Sagittarius in connection to your situation that's going through a transformation as a result of something that you cut off. It might have highlighted something for them that they were in the dark about, okay? Let's have a look at this, see what's coming in. Give me more details about this for Virgo and how this is playing out, this lunar cycle for them. We do have that Sagittarius blue moon coming in on the 31st, and I do feel there's something that's going to be lit up there. Yeah, something was really impacting your security. You felt like you had to protect yourself from whatever this is. You felt like you had to have a real guard up in this situation. And I think you knew you couldn't invest in this. See, I really see this as symbolic of weighing out an opportunity or an offer, weighing it out. Do I want to invest in this? And you started recognizing like, it doesn't feel safe to let this in. And you started to recognize the way the situation was actually creating some kind of imbalance in your life, maybe on a very practical level. And you said, no, no, I'm going to keep myself in a nice, stable position. And see, you freed yourself of a lot of worry, stress, strain. I think leading up to you executing this choice, you were really troubled by it. There was something that had you up in your head. You may have been losing sleep. There was something you were just really stressed out about. And then as soon as you let this go, everything stabilized. It's like you discovered what the disruptive element was. Okay. More details here. So there's a lot of validation coming through that you made the right choice. And I believe you're going to see tangible proof occurring in your circumstances. It's like something's freeing up for you. There's new opportunities coming in. Okay, and it's because you stood on your truth and what felt right for you. You trusted your own take of a situation, and you won't regret that. I really feel that. But I do have the perception that in you doing that, it could have created a bit of a mess for others. See, this is all energy that's falling away from you, which I find fascinating. All the shadow stuff is falling away from you. You may become aware that this character that you kind of tossed aside is still keeping an eye on you. With the Page of Swords in reverse, this person is a little too invested in what's going on with you. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. That's not a positive energy. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Okay. Look at that. Two of Pentacles in reverse. A lot of imbalance. Yeah. Eight of Wands in reverse. All in the shadow. So you could have been dealing with an earth sign here. Okay. Because I am seeing this like masculine to feminine aspect. And I feel that you are this King of Swords energy. Whether you're a man or a woman, you had to take an action. You had to act out of that authoritative place to cut something off. And you could have been dealing with a fellow earth sign here. Doesn't have to be. This could have been somebody that at one point you were really committed to. You could have been in a committed relationship with this individual. It also could be a business arrangement too. Okay, some offer, business offer, work opportunity, something that just didn't feel right to you. There could be somebody that's just a pocket watching you a little too much. And in the case of somebody who does have like a competitive vibe with you, they may be trying to understand what your next moves are, almost so they can destabilize them. Whoever this person is, I do feel like they want control in a situation because you really threw them for a loop when you cut off communication with them. This is all energy that's moved away from you, though. This is what you threw away. So I don't feel this Queen of Pentacles energy is you at all, but you could be dealing with a fellow earth sign here that is feeling a little shocked by your decision to not accept their invitation, not accept their offer, not accept the opportunity. And I do feel like they're keeping an eye on you because they want to know why. What's going on with you? This person could be crossing some boundary lines in their desire to understand why you made the choices that you did instead of respecting your boundaries. Okay? So if you sense that this person's still trying to, keep an eye on you and what you got going on, you're right about that. You're not incorrect about that. I feel like this person is feeling out of control because of the choice you made. And now they're trying to clamor for control by sussing out what's going on with you behind the scenes. All right. So it's sort of like they're not respecting that you decided to put your foot down here and say, no, you shall not pass. I don't want any part of this. I'm going to continue to head on my merry way. Okay, so give me some more details about what's coming in for Virgo here. Now that they shed this, now that they release this, I know there's a transformation underway. It could be that there's another person in the mix that now has their interest piqued because they're curious. They're curious about why you chose to turn something down. It could be somebody connected to this Queen of Pentacles here. And I feel like they may want more details. They really feel like you're cloaking some knowledge that you have. It's like you're keeping something to yourself. And you do have somebody here that wants in. They want in. You see, because I think when you walked away from a situation involving this Queen of Pentacles, somebody still attached to that person got thrown in the middle of some heated conflict that you've saved yourself from. Okay, so you got out of this. You're not involved in this mess anymore. But you leaving the way you did, you cutting something off, really highlighted something for a character here that is still connected to this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And they want to know, what do you know? Put me in the loop here. Because they feel like you got like some kind of inside information, inside insight. They're definitely looking at you sort of like you put them in a rough spot. You know, you left me in a lurch is how this character is kind of coming off. And I do feel like they want some information from you, but they might be the character that is kind of, it looks like they come in with fire and air. This character could be trying to get to the root of why you decided to cut off somebody, cut off contact with somebody, deny access, turn down their invitation. Okay, it could be a person connected to them. It put their hackles up, it made them nervous for some reason. Well, could have something to do with justice on your side here, Libra energy. I mean, all I know is you made a wise decision. You weighed something out for a long time with justice here. You do have access to the truth. The choice you made was balanced. It brings balance into your life. It also puts something behind you that maybe you didn't want to be associated with because you felt it was really imbalanced. And it wasn't justice. Yeah, you felt that this was a real oppressive, I heard menacing influence. See, there's another that's still chained to this Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Capricorn energy coming out there. You may have felt like it could negatively impact you. It could negatively impact your reputation. It could negatively impact what you're trying to build for yourself, future for yourself. So you said, I gotta pull out of this. Like, I don't want to be connected to this at all. And you made the right choice. I mean, you freed yourself from something. You're not chained here. Whatever this connection, relationship, association, involvement was, like something about it was really unhealthy. Really unhealthy. And maybe you were connected to it at one point because there was a familiarity there, but I see you've gone through some kind of transformation. Something was illuminated for you where once you saw the real dynamic, you said, I got to pull out of this. And you made the right choice because it looks like justice here being established for you as a direct result of the choice you made. So you made the right call. All right. But it's got these other people here feeling like leery, like, uh-oh, you know, what's going to come at me now? In some cases, you may have learned that somebody was up to some kind of illegal activity and that if you stayed connected to a situation, you could get roped into that. If that's the case, you might have these people sort of fearing that you're about to blow the whistle on them. Yeah, you're going to light up what they were doing in the dark and it's going to become public knowledge. That could be why they're so interested in what you're up to. See, we still got that devilish influence there hanging out on the scene. Like you did free yourself. Maybe you sprung a lock on a trap that initially had been set for you. You know, somebody could have wanted to set you up, put you in a compromising position, but you sort of foiled their plans by, I think you acted out of pocket. Like you might be somebody that in the past you would have given a pass. You would have been willing to trust. You would have been also maybe willing to look the other way, even though you were spotting red flags or reasons for concern, and you didn't do that this time. And I think because of that, it looks like you got yourself out of some mess, some jam here. Yeah, you saw that it was out of balance. Temperance in the shadow, Sagittarian energy coming in again. There was no way that you could feel optimistic signing on for this. You knew that something was not right. You knew that something could potentially really destroy everything you were trying to build. That's the truth. Look at that. I mean, clear, decisive energy. You can rest on that truth. Queen of Swords energy too. Could be a Libra connection here as well coming in. Or you could have a strong Libra placement. All right, one more round, and then I'm going to do a cut of the deck. I think you're going to be vindicated for the choice you made. There's going to be some proof here that you made a wise decision in stepping away from a particular influence, okay? Yeah, look at that. It transformed your situation. You taking the action to cut this off transforms your situation, and it brings some kind of renewal in your life. So whatever you did, you made the right judgment call. Cut of the deck. And look, puts you in a very strong position. So where you were worried about your security, your stability before, not anymore, not with King of Pentacles there. And look at this. It also looks like there's some coming together for you, rising above a challenge in the past to be able to unite with another here. There could be some key relationship that's healing as a result of this. Yeah, there's your energy there, see? You made a wise call. You did. I feel like at one point, you know, you might have been ill-informed. And because you were ill-informed, you may have been acting a bit out of character. I also feel that others may view you as being a little too severe. Of course, these people would view you as being too severe. It looks like you were on the rough end of some deal, some arrangement here. But we see there's vindication here for you. I mean, the truth is going to be seen quite clearly. You were wise to turn down this offer. It's what brings healing for you. And truly something to celebrate. All right? Because it feels like there's going to be a real opportunity coming your way that's worth investing in. You got some different options to explore, right? So turning down one opportunity opens up a lot of other options for you. And there is some turning of the wheel of fortune because you transformed that tricky, devilish influence. You didn't invest in it. It was a wise choice. Pretty freaking clear. Can't get much clearer than that. Thank you for making it very clear, Virgo. I like the decisiveness. Let's go ahead and just get you kind of an overarching theme. Yeah, you retreated. Your energy coming in there with the signature of the Hermit. You trusted your intuition. You pulled your energy back. And as a result, that's your chariot forward. It may have seemed, you know, counterproductive or counterintuitive to some, but you trusted your gut. And now I think when everything comes to light, you're going to be grateful you pulled out of that arrangement when you see what goes down. All I know is it brings you justice. You did the right thing. And because of this, something's freeing up for you. The Wheel of Fortune's turning in your favor. So let's just get an overarching theme, a focal point for you, Virgo, as you move forward in this cycle. Good energy. I like seeing this for you. I had already shuffled this deck, but I'm just going to shuffle it a few more times just so you see that we're doing this on the fly. Yeah, wow. It's just really coming through so strongly with detachment and that energy of 4, you know. I think there's a real sense of feeling at peace with detaching from a situation that comes in with that full moon in Sagittarius on the 31st. It's when you really recognize that that was a power move. All right. Okay, focal point for Virgo. Focal point for Virgo to cap this off. Focal point for Virgo to cap this off. Yep. Protect yourself. Continue to protect yourself by protecting your peace because the choice you made was balance. You chose to move out of the shadow and step into the light. And as a result, your path has been protected. You're in a powerful position. And look at that. Judgment, you know, judgment in your favor. Also, favorable judgment for 2 in this situation. I do feel like something heals as a result of this strong move you made, and also just having the courage to step away from something based solely on what felt right to you, despite any outside pressure you may have experienced. And there is a sense of vindication coming through here for you, so it looks good. Stay focused, Virgo. And pay attention, because there's new things lining up for you and a lot of opportunities that are going to start to come into view. And take your time, you know, continue to trust that discernment as you weigh things out, as you weigh out what opportunities are for you and which ones should be left behind. I don't think you're going to go wrong. It looks like you got a good outcome here, you know, some kind of mending of a connection that's important to you, some kind of healing, coming together with another, rising above challenges of the past, and some kind of alignment coming in here for you, coming into view, because you have the courage to let something go. Good for you. Godspeed, Virgo.